Hello and welcome back to another episode of Notes on Shouri. For sure, this is the event we're playing. Man, I am really salty, man. I really am salty. I set up everything. I'm ready. Everything's ready. I'm ready to record. And then boom, I have to leave for daily life. I can never predict these things. Yeah, man, how many days are left on Notes on Shouri? Notes on Shouri, 6 days left. You know, I really wanted to daily record this, but holy, the amount of stuff I need to do. Anyways, I apologize for how inconsistent the series has been so far. We might go for a longer episode if we want to make it on time. Anyways, stage 13. Jisheng. After 1,000 years, one finally returns to their rightful place. Yeah, I realize I have nothing to say. Amazing. Amazing. Well, this is what happens when you pass days in real life. We're in the Zichi. Li Zheng is flipping through an annual expense account record from previous year, words written on his heart and wizened face. Jiu Nanzi is sure to report for duty on time, and he must have a decision ready before she does.
In past years,
What does that even mean?
The festive animals used in the fortune walk and the bridge leap were less than 3. A cow, a goat, and a donkey, without exception. The poorer the harvest, the less food for the animals and less well-fed donkeys. So people had to use horses instead. Aren't there too many festive animals this time? Even if it is for celebrating the birth of Zhi, not to mention some of them are transformed from humans. We shall act prudently if we have to cancel the ceremony. We must make the decision before New Year's Eve.
He writes the words fortune walk and bridge leap into a blank space on the accounts record in his hand, then circles them in red ink to serve as his reminder. As he does, he ponders and shifts his gaze nearby to the portrait of a giant bird.
A giant bird. A feather man. There's always trouble around New Year's.
Foyo! Suddenly there comes a loud fluttering of wings. This sound is not like one of common birds flapping, but it is rather a droning, hazardous sound, the kind of a titanic bird of prey approaching. Another abduction. What is this? Come on, I forgot his name. Shangru. Come on, Shangrai, or whatever their name is. Surely you can do better than this. A winged shadow covers the portrait on the desk. Li Zheng turns his head to see the visitor clearly, meeting it with a look of shock and heart-shaking doubt on his face.
You?
Anata? The visitor is no less than the very giant bird or featherman depicted in that portrait. Now listen, I know we're in China, but I want to say the Korean version of you. No? I'm not allowed? Okay. He glides in as smoothly and naturally as if he were entering an open glade. It seems as though the guards of the Zhichi were unaware of his arrival entirely.
Are you responsible for this place? It was someone else when I last visited.
Hiya.
No matter. I have an urgent matter to discuss, or it will be too late.
Without waiting for Li Zheng to react, a bizarre horse, or something like it, rushes in behind them. Now what is this supposed to be? I thought this was going to be another abduction. The horse's mane and tail are both red, and it bears a tiger stripe pattern along its body, the combination of which produces a truly incomparable sight. It steps forward, allowing Li Zheng to see it clearly. It suggests a great sort of intelligence in its movements. As for the featherman, he simply folds his wings and lands. The narrow space forces him to pinch himself tightly into the cramped room. Li Zheng notices a hint of embarrassment in his visitor as a result.
I'm Ge Tian, and I'm here to advise caution. The lady owner of the tavern can turn people into Lushu. She needs to be stopped, or more people will suffer.
Lady owner of the tavern. Jiu Nangzi?
She has extremely light bones, which means she's still in the stage of development. She might be unstable hence a danger to keep in the city.
You are referring to Jiunangzi?
Precisely.
Bones. Are you the goddess of Li Mountain that can read one's bones? But you don't look like her at all.
You're distracted by the wrong thing, Li Jing. The brief silence conveys Gitian's... I forgot what his name is. Gatian? What did he say? We strive to be accurate here.
I'm Gutian.
Gutian, astonishment at the unexpected change in topic.
I am no goddess of Li Mountain.
Then your words have no weight at all. You should have claimed to be her.
Come on, Li Jing, that's not the way you communicate.
Besides, goddess of Li Mountain, take a look around you.
Though puzzled, Gutian looks around as advised, only to find some paper with the same bird totems painted on it. Some of the papers even bear ink stains yet to dry, indicating their recentness.
You mean these paper cutouts? A man-faced bird with a red tail. You are drawing me.
Even though he recognizes the image in the painting, the idea of being worshipped through such artwork comes across as quite unnecessary. Jeez, again, I can't read when I do these. Whoa, you're telling me the guy at the start of the event didn't have an animation, but a horse has an animation? Sure. Horseshoes impatiently clank on the ground, seeming to urge a sense of haste. This prompting, though, goes unnoticed.
But I'm not a Shouri. These paper cuts won't send me your prayers and wishes.
They are not paper cutouts for worshipping the Shouri, but wanted posters. And you are wanted.
He moves his hand. Come on, guys. Surely we should have made a more clear animation. Gutian is stunned for a moment, as if unable to understand Li Jing's words. Whether paper cuttings or wanted notices, they are complex things found only in the world of the mundane. As the Wizard King makes an appearance, the voice of the mundane speaks through Ebenholz's head and says, "Gay, homosexual, gay." And then Eben says, "Say one more word and I'll shoot myself." Anyways, as such, he opts to ignore them for now and continue on with the purpose of his journey.
The most important thing is to find Jiu Niangzi. She's the culprit of the missing persons case in the city.
I thought you came here to confess or make peace. But it seems not. You come to defame Jiunangzi while being ignorant of the fact that you are the top suspect.
Upon learning that the culprit is not in fact the one he identified as Jiunangzi, Gitian falls into an even deeper confusion. Many things outside the mountains are beyond his understanding.
How am I related to this?
Every time a disappearance was reported, you were witness bringing animals to the Jitsu.
No. The nature of my visit has been taken wrongly. The Zhili there knew what I came for.
When we arrived at the Jitsu, you had already fled without a trace. No one could testify in front of the Fa Jiao for her. So her words were considered nonsense. Now, she has returned to her hometown.
Upon hearing this, Gutian breathes a sigh of relief.
I wouldn't have shown up in the city if not for the urgent matters. What's the purpose of lingering around when my business is done here? Besides, the Zhizi allowed arcane skills to be cast without restrictions in the city. So it is your responsibility to bear the consequences of such negligence.
You are very articulate. But how can you explain the testimony provided by the two foreign merchants? All roads are leading to you.
Again, he moves his hand. How are you supposed to see that?
Yes, the two foreigners.
Do you confess?
They are the other reason why I'm here. One of the two is here with us. She can explain to you.
Gutian leans over and asks the red-maned horse behind him to signal to Li Jing. She's been turned into a horse. Poor Yenisei, man. So no wonder you had red hair. No wonder. Poor Yenisei. The strange horse, after being ignored for a long time, seems to acknowledge that it can now finally make itself useful, and steps forward on proud hooves.
Wait, you mean she is...
Before Li Jing can react, Gitian, I can't say his name, sorry. Gitian flaps his wings, causing the tea on the table to flip onto the ground. The red-maned horse takes another step forward and turns to the spot where the stone bricks have been wetted. The tea seeps out over the interior stone, forming a pool and a small identification. There, the reflection of the horse appears in a
I
flash.
ask your patience. Please, look at the water on the floor.
Li Jing looks towards the spot Gutian's line of sight indicates, where the fading reflection remains. But the liquid drains out along the low-lying and uneven floor and eventually disappears into the crevices of the stone bricks. The tea, it seems, is just tea.
What is this for? Is this a demonstration of your discontent? Because I didn't treat you as a guest, offer you a seat, and give you a cup of tea?
No, this should not be.
He appears to murmur to himself and turn to the red-tailed horse behind him, his words muddled with confusion.
Why didn't your arcane skill work this time? Or must it be clean water to reflect it? No, the water in the river was no cleaner. How did you do it earlier?
Having now weathered this series of absurd confrontations to his limits, the cultured manner of Li Jing breaks along with his patience.
Guards, catch him!
Gutian is startled by the sudden and rapid footsteps and immediately flies upwards. Within the narrow chamber, the shadow of his wings appears unusually large, and even the red-haired horse retreats beyond the shadow's range.
What is the meaning of this?
You are suspect. That's...
What I know. I told you truthfully. Why are you troubling me? Instead of going after Zhou Nyangzi, find some clean water. I'll prove it to you.
That's enough. Surrender now.
I will not fight you, but neither will you have me.
Hey, be careful not to hurt that horse. It might be one of the victims.
Yeah, no shit, Li Jing. Come on, dude. Surely you could piece together that that's Yenisei. Well,
Anyone offer your seat to the senior?
we're actually fighting him. Yeah, that is not what I expected, let's just say. He can't use his Noble Phantasm? What game am I playing? This is Reverse 1999. His ultimate, right.
Radio waves everywhere.
They really should come up with a new terminology instead of us saying ultimate. I know, these dots are Moxie, but like, there's something better than ultimate would have been nice. I'm just saying, Let's actually just do this instead. I'll save a few seconds,
It's called common sense. Yay! A perfectly executed exercise!
Gutian flaps his wings and flies out, escaping to the courtyard. He does not leave immediately, instead deftly avoiding the attacks of the guards as he flits around the courtyard, despite the fact that Jeez. I'm having insane hiccups right now, and I am doing my best to suppress them. Despite the fact that this brief conflict has already left him injured.
Your strength will eventually run out.
Is this necessary? Find me the clean water, and I will show you what Zhou Nyangzi has done.
How will I know if you're using your arcane skill to fake the result? The truth is, we know the girl very well, but nothing about you. No one had gone missing in Pei City before you showed up, so how can we trust you or your proof?
Gutian gently shakes his head and lowers his wings.
And you have denied that you are a Shouri.
It is true that I'm not a Shouri, nor have I ever visited here. I never wanted to leave the mountain.
His movements make the wounds on his wings visible. His stance is low and reverent, suggesting his willingness to discuss a truce. Li Jing hesitates and as a result raises his hand to stop the storming advance of the guards.
But you still left.
I really shouldn't have come to the human world.
What do you mean?
My people have left the mountain and come to help you. They renounced their names, families, and even lives for you. They gave up everything so that you would have gods to worship. They became symbols, totems, except themselves.
What are you talking about, Featherman?
I told you my name. I'm not a Featherman. This Featherman is not one of us. No need to call him by name.
It isn't any sort of pre-science. It's only... Jeez. It's only that the answer is a simple deduction.
Seems like my people have been long forgotten. You forgot the Gotians who left the mountain. The city builders, the bridge masters, the flood fighters. They all faded into oblivion. You only remember the gods of Shouri, who never answered to your prayers. That's why I'm discouraged by the idea of leaving the mountain like my people. I don't want to face such suspicion and disbelief after giving you all the help.
Who are you?
Now that I see it, the destruction of the bridge was inevitable. It was bound to happen, like I was bound to be left in the mountain and be the last of us.
The bridge? Did you have something to do with the broken bridge? Featherman, tell us!
Just call him by his name. You could salvage something here, Li Jing. I don't trust in Jiu Nangzi, just saying.
Question no more. You can have me, if that's what you want.
The message conveyed by Gutian's words and actions forces those present to hold their breath. He gives up his resistance and sees the connection between the broken bridge and the village allegation, and the vague allegation, though the onlookers wonder whether this might be merely a stalling tactic. The two who set off from the tavern heading towards Zitsche arrive in time to witness the end of the standoff. Besmert had been following Geonaxi closely all the way, but now stops just short of the Zitsche gates.
Miss Jianing, sir, please wait.
Even without the ability to see it, she stops to analyze the tense atmosphere ahead.
Come no further!
Huh?
The gaze of almost everyone in the courtyard converges now on Gutian, wary of any possible movement. No one present believes that he would just surrender like this. And in an unnoticed corner, the red-tailed horse deftly bypasses them all before running off in agitation. The horse that had rushed into the crowd then just as immediately weaves back out, seeming to aim to snatch Besmert out from behind Geonaxi. And it succeeds. And now Besmert's abducted. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. To be continued. Hold on, let me check. Oh boy, it's been 18 minutes since we've been recording. All of that for one stage, by the way. Oh man, we are now making good progress. The old days. People reminisce about the past. Perhaps because they feel the present is getting worse. Ain't that but the truth? Ain't that but the truth? I mean, look at today's economy. I can't just go to the mountains, you know. I can't just go on a hiking trip, or I can't even go... bro, I can't waste a day in bed without being behind on something. Many things, actually.
What? What just ran out of there? That thing took away the lady. What's going on?
Jiu Nangzi's words dissipate in the air without stirring a response. The eyes of all stare at Gutian. In the center of the courtyard, most of these are filled with doubt, suspicion, and fear. As the strange horse and its unwilling rider disappear in the distance, the communication arcane skill cast by the bone wand also seems to dissipate.
Now we lost another witness. Did you plan this?
I left my wand in her tavern yesterday. Ask her. You will know.
Jianangzi, is that so?
We did find a bone in the yard, but it's with that foreign lady now.
Tie him up first. Do you have more to say?
Everything I need to tell you, I have spoken it all. Catch her now, or even a real Shouri cannot save you from the disaster.
Why are you so obsessed with calling Jiu Nangzi the culprit?
What? You... I am the culprit? What kind of culprit am I?
It's fine, Jiu Nangzi. We all know you have nothing to do with the missing persons cases.
I hope Geonangza just is like Rebecca, where her arcane skill is doing everything and she just doesn't notice it. Again, I really hope it's not the lame, oh, I'm accepting that I'm an arcanist, therefore I unlock my abilities. I mean, surely an arcanist would know what their ability is doing. I mean, come on, dude. Murderer appears for a recording, and we just never question it ever again? I'm just saying. That was Rebecca's, or Blawny's, my bad. That was Blawny's skill, and, yeah, we just don't question it. She's just using abilities, and we don't know it. And now we have Geonangzi, where it seems unlikely, you know? It just seems unlikely. I really hope it's not the stupid, oh, I'm innocent, but my abilities are doing everything without me noticing. Teehee, my bad. Please, forgive me because I'm a short girl. I don't know, man. It pisses me off whenever they do this in a gacha game. And it would piss me more off if it's reverse 1999, because... you know, surely we're gonna use a different trick this time. Surely we're not using the same tactic twice in a row, you know what I mean?
And he said that even a real Shouri cannot save you. He's more of a fake one to me.
You don't even know how to read! What do you even know about the Shangri? Geonangzi rushes angrily towards Jutian, striding forward until she stands just before him, but in her rush of emotion she loses her ability to speak.
You...
Oh no, the anecdote soundtracks are playing. GG. That is all I'm saying. GG.
Stay calm. We will hold him in detention in Zhichi for now. I'll report this to the Fatsao. The first thing to do is catch up with the horse and the foreign lady, and find his wand to figure out his arcane skill.
His arcane skill ends racism. It literally translated languages for you. Everyone can understand him, and the reverse is true. Everyone understands each other. My guy literally has the ability to make you communicate no matter the language. The crowd quickly moves according to Li Zheng's command and exits the courtyard in an orderly fashion. Only a few scattered guards remain in the courtyard, along with the three figures located in the center. At this point, it would seem obvious that Jitian must be taken away, but as Li Zheng has not yet ordered anything to that effect, no one dares step forward. For those subdued, his huge wings and claws still serve as effective deterrents.
Take him away. Everyone else dismissed. Jiunangzi, follow me. There's something we need to talk about.
What do you want, Featherman?
Jiunangzi?
You looked like a decent Xiangri. Why did you say something like that? Even if you're not, aren't you afraid that the real Xiangri will blame you for doing the wrong thing?
The girl appears as though she has not heard Li Zheng's words. The doubt in her questions is conveyed in an almost whispered tone. Gutian doesn't even lift his head. He remains motionless like a statue. Proceeds to shake his head. Like a statue.
Jiunangzi, it is true that he is not the Xiangri of our city. The Xiangri who once protected our city has been long lost.
Jiunangzi turns her head, failing to connect the logic behind Li Jing's statement.
But everyone thinks the Featherman on the mountain is the Xiangri. Just look at him. How could people not take him as a Xiangri by his look? The former Zhili told me that the Featherman looks like a Gomang, just like what was depicted in a picture book.
Gomang, the god of spring in ancient Chinese mythology, in charge of agriculture with wings and claws.
A Gomang is a confirmed Xiangri recorded in a book.
Jiunangzi.
But this man, of course he is not a Xiangri. He isn't like the Gomang, nor the Mianmeng. He doesn't even understand the saying of, one can remove the footsteps, but not the the path one walketh on.
One can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on. That's fair. One cannot commit wrongdoing without leaving a trace. However, we can't convict him without definitive evidence, such as witnesses and his wand. The trace he left is yet to be found.
Ji Nangzi squats down in front of Gutian in a sudden inexplicable movement, then stares unwaveringly into his eyes as she speaks, as if she is to judge the authenticity of his words and expression by doing so.
Featherman, do you know what is a real Xiangrui? Do you know where it is? Why did you take people's friends away and accuse me of being the culprit?
But Gutian seems to have made up his mind to remain silent. He's using the Fifth Amendment! Guys, stop him! He's using his rights! He lowers his head, taking a faint interest in observing the blood dripping from his wounds. An act of passive resistance. A drop of blood seeps into his feathers. The moment passes long enough for the girl to organize her words and continue her barrage of questions.
Your appearance is given by heaven, so you should not act against the nature of your look just because of your personal preference. You could have become a much-loved spirit, like in the stories and picture books, as everyone expects you to be.
But that's not what he wants to be.
But when you took away that foreign lady's teammates, you didn't care about their feelings. They didn't want to be separated. You disappointed people. That's not what a Xiangrui should do.
All right, Xiaojiazi. That's enough. Take him away.
Ji Nangzi watches coldly as Gutian is taken away.
He didn't tell me anything, nor did he tell anyone.
I know you're chasing after anything that could be a Xiangrui, but the Feather Man has clearly claimed that he is not one. To be honest, judging from his attitude, he has never had the intention to be one.
I don't understand. How could he not want to be one?
Not everyone is so interested in the legend of Xiangrui. The Pei City did have a good era under the protection of the Xiangruis. But after all these years, no one can recall that time without the help of the mythologies and the history books. Even I can't be sure if there's a real Xiangrui. But Jiu Niangzi, you should know that we don't need a Xiangrui anymore.
We don't need it?
With no Xiangrui, no divination, we can't arrive at Yun Temple. But this is still an orderly city. The Dushuo festival is as vibrant as ever. You can tell that a Xiangrui is not necessary for a city to prosper.
Is that so?
Jiu Nangzi grasps a small bag she carries with her. The bag is embroidered with a peculiar combination of love poems, though she has never really understood the meaning behind the words. In some way, they now mirror her own confused mind.
By the way, turns out you can read, can't you?
Huh? You know that I can't, Li Zheng.
One can remove the footsteps, but not the path one walketh on.
Oh, that's not what it seems to be. I heard it from the Taoist countless times, so I remembered it.
Which Taoist? In the city?
Jiu Nangzi shakes her head to refute Li Jing's assumptions.
No, it was a Taoist I traveled with before I came to Pei City. The Taoist said many different things over and over again. I couldn't understand, but I remembered them.
Sounds like you had a distinguished teacher. Since you came here, you've been treating people nice and kindly. Exactly the opposite of what Gutian has done.
You literally just said his name after the guy left. Li Zheng, have some respect, my guy. At least call him by his name in front of him, and call him Featherman behind him. What is this, man? Man. That's some racism.
Ah, so his name is Gutian?
Yes, Gutian. You said too many things to him. He is not the Shouri you are looking for. A real Shouri would never be so rude. It is very possible that he is only a Yao that has been living on the mountain for too long.
Her head lowers, seeming to find it difficult to accept such a change in thought.
But why did he accuse me like that? I don't get it. Did I do something wrong?
Because you are the Zhili.
Now your abilities. Jiu. For real? Your abilities give me a headache just looking at them. You know, that it's her, officer. I don't need any evidence. It's her. Jiu Nangzi looks at Li Zheng, her face caught between doubt and curiosity. Having presented his point of view, the old man rubs his beard and laughs, knowingly helpless to influence the girl's reaction.
The former Zhili left because of what he said and did. Now he wants to play the same trick on you. What's more, when he got here and saw me, but not you, he acted quite surprised. You can tell from the details.
The thought behind her eyes grew more muddled. Such deceitful scheming felt too complicated for her to comprehend.
Oh, and that captured foreign lady, she?
Don't worry. There are people searching for them now. As for us, we should confirm the details for tomorrow's fortune walk and bridge leap.
Right, bridge leap. I almost forgot. If only the broken bridge could be fixed, then we wouldn't need those festive animals, nor to jump over the bridge. During Getian's silence, I was thinking that what if I can go to the Yuan Temple and ask Zhishu, the guardian? If the legend of the divination is real, then whatever the question is, Zhishu will answer me, right?
I guess so.
The two of them walk indoors, their conversation disappearing from the courtyard under the sound of footsteps on hard stone. Okay, we're back. Within the pristine government office, two figures exchange information from their past few days so they might agree on their next step course of action.
That is the whole story. Getian is now detained in Jitsu's dungeon. Jiunangxi is there as well. 4 hours ago, after discussing with the new Zhili, we decided to keep the ceremonies of Fortune Walk and Bridge Leap. But no colored animals are used this time. The number of animals will be less than those in previous years of Jieshi. Here's a list of ceremony members and funds. I've asked people to deliver the copies to all the streets.
Li Zheng picks up a stack of papers from the desk and hands them out dutifully.
Thank you, sir.
This is my duty. As for Getian, we shall put him on hold until after the Dusho festival, according to the law.
One more thing. Have we found the horse and the proof?
Not yet. The horse taking that foreign lady away might still be under the control of Getian. There was no trace of them when our people chased them out of the city.
I understand. Given the road conditions in the morning rain, looks like we will have to continue with the search after it stops. But I don't think a horse carrying a blind woman can go far enough to escape. I'll lead the search squad myself next time.
Thank you, Fasao.
The imposing figure with his back to the entryway habitually presses down on the short sword at his waist, adjusting the position of the blade, then waves his hand again to show that he doesn't need to concern himself with such matters.
I'm only doing my job. Where is the Zhili?
Are you referring to Jiunangsu or the former one?
The one who went back to her hometown.
We haven't heard anything from her yet. Perhaps it will come after the Dushuo festival.
Noted. Jiunyangzu is still green, so please help me take care of the Jutsu before the former one comes back.
I will. She is kind-hearted. That is why I recommended her for this position. It will be my responsibility if she makes any mistakes.
Well, there are so many things to do before the new year. It's fine even if she makes a mistake or two. Don't push her too hard.
That's what I thought. If you find any evidence, or the two foreigners, please let me know.
Pashao rises nimbly while holding the documents. As he prepares to bid his farewell, he is stopped by Li Jing's raised hand.
Oh, another thing. The New Year's feast tonight. You're welcome to Jiunyangji's tavern with your relatives.
The tavern? Are the people around the merchant's hub going too?
Yes, she is hosting a feast for the neighbors. It is the New Year's Eve vigil, followed by the first day of Du Shuo Festival. It is an annual tradition at the tavern.
朔日, the new year.
Aye, right. Another year of the Jieshi. Hopefully the Yuan Temple, which worships the Jieshi, will bring us good news.
Having said his piece, leaving only a moment of silence, the two of them look out of the window, towards the eaves of the broken bridge in the temple flickering in the misty rain. To be continued. Really? Two cutscenes, and we're 36 minutes into this episode. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna dump random stuff here in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.